It takes this wild animal to go in there with a dadgum machete and a bunch of Gen Zs.
On the flip side, too, I also really like Doge.
You and I and Joe and Theo all did interviews with President Trump.
Wow.
He's just throwing grenades over there and shaking things up. And you and I and Joe and Theo all did interviews with President Trump. And obviously Joe's the 800-pound gorilla in that, probably you. Theo and me pick up the crumbs, but we all have major top 10 podcasts, and we all, and then Joe came out and endorsed him, and probably 3 weeks before that I did, and I don't do presidential, I don't do politics, I don't do endorsement, but I did it mainly based on the economy. It was not the only thing, but I'm concerned about some of the same things other people were, border, woke, all that stuff, but happy about all that stuff. But the economics, and I said this on that show, on our, because I knew I was going to get flooded with anti-Trump hate, because a fair portion of my audience are not conservatives. But the economics, oddly enough, is as much psychology as it is math. Let me give you an example. If I, as a small business owner, believe that things are going good and they're going to go good, I hire, I buy equipment, I stock up on inventory, so I create an economy. Hiring people creates a positive economy. So I'm acting based on my feeling, based on my psychology. And so it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that if enough people believe things are going to be good and they start taking actions as a result, they cause things to be good. And that's what I felt like, and I still think the Trump administration is going to deliver. It's what Ronald Reagan delivered when he turned the economy around. It was more about hope than it was some tax change.
Okay.
It was more about, this guy believes in America. I believe in America. He believes in capitalism. I believe in capitalism. And I believe that the free enterprise system and freedom and the ability to go open a business and live my dreams, I believe in that. He believes in that. He's going to cause that to happen. He's going to create an environment where that works. And so I'm going to go do it. And that's what we did under Reagan. And that's what Trump is delivering when he's making these fabulous vision casting statements about we're going into a golden era. He's speaking it into existence almost, he's trying to. And if he makes enough people believe it, they'll go do that. On the offside, then he's doing that fabulously. And then the games he's playing with the tariffs are scaring the crap out of the stock market. And the stock market's down since he's in office. And it had been up considerably before that. But there may be method to that madness. I don't know. I'm not privy to the inside workings of this administration. I don't play in that world. But, there's one benefit that'll come from that is the bond market prices could go up, which will drive their interest rates down, which also will drive the economy. So if you drill, baby, drill, which is about somewhere around 1/7 of the national economy is energy related. If you get 1/7 of the economy, boom, and you get interest rates down and get real estate moving again, even if the stock market goes down, the stock market will come back because that'll stimulate everything. It'll get to moving. And it's not him physically doing anything. It's all of these words. And I know I think it's obvious he's trying to do some other things with the tariffs other than tariffs. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get compliance on borders being shut down. He's trying to get compliance on them dropping their tariffs down, which they've ridiculously cut our throats for years. A lot of these countries have. The trade deficit and they're charging us 100% tariff and we don't charge them any. And we're all sitting around and now we decide we're going to charge them something. We act like we're the bad guys, which is ridiculous. So politically or policy-wise, that's ridiculous. But the offside is that it's destabilizing the markets because people are worried instead of inspired. If you get more of them inspired than worried, the thing will pick up and it'll get moving. And I still think that's what's going to happen. I think the offset has just been the destabilization of all the tariff discussion has destabilized and offset some of the positive feelings that would have caused. So, in other words, a business person sitting today is going, okay, I think all this stuff's going to get really good over here, but I don't know what these tariffs are going to do to us. And so instead of hiring and buying equipment, they're going to kind of wait to see how that happens. So we've had a delayed effect on Trump having a positive effect on the economy, and this probably because of all the yak around the tariff. Because the actual physical tariffs that have actually happened is almost zero. It's just been discussion.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
He's just throwing grenades over there and shaking things up. And, I mean, actually, how much have prices actually already been affected by a tariff? Almost zero so far. Because they get right up to it and then they go, oh, wait a minute, they conceded and we're going to wait. We're going to give it another 30 days. And, oh, well, that one, we're going to do that, but we're going to take out all these others. And, it's hard to follow, even if you charted it all, exactly what all is really happening. I guess if you're in the middle of it, you would, but I don't care enough to chart it, so I'm not going to fool with it. But I'm really excited about where we'll be in 12 months.
Okay.
I still am predicting that. Ramsey's gearing up. We're getting ready. We think there's a wave coming, and we want to ride it.
Nice. What about, and I agree with what he's doing with the tariffs, and I like to see us like stand up to this shit. On the flip side too, I also really like Doge and what they're doing.
Oh man, that's just incredible.
But in look, I don't know shit about economics or the economy or anything, but I do see, I just had Secretary of the VA on earlier this week, and VA, nobody likes the VA. And it's overstaffed, and just for some context, there's 480 something thousand employees at the VA. The U.S. Army has 450,000 active duty members, so they're definitely heavy. And they've gone through USAID and all these other places, and
it's a good idea gone bad.
They're cleaning out. I get what they're doing. They're trimming the fat. I think the fat needs to be trimmed. The national debt. Understand all that. My fear is the VA Secretary of the VA is looking to slash 83,000 jobs here. So when you look at the hundreds of thousands of jobs that are going to get cut from government positions, are we going to see? Is that going to affect us?
No, because it's not enough in total jobs to cause like an unemployment crisis or something, which you would have to that would lead towards probably a recession, a contraction of the economy, because there's not enough people that have money from their job to spend, so they're spending, and that contracts, and that's what a recession is. So, but I think it's small enough. It's a little bit like. The old joke, major surgery is surgery that I had, minor surgeries you had. And so, when you lose your job, you're 100% unemployed. You don't really care what the unemployment rate is. And you really don't care about the philosophy of the Trump administration or Elon Musk's ideas. You just lost your job. Mm-hmm. And so that for that person that's losing their position, it's huge. But in ratio in the entire economy, the number of jobs, it's not going to be the end of the world. And it's offset by the savings, the deficit and the debt going down, and the chance we could actually get a balanced budget again. That's very productive for the economy, because every time there's a deficit, remember what happens is, okay, those lost jobs are harming the economy, but also if you don't have the lost job and that job creates extra debt, deficit is financed by debt. Right? When you spend more than you make, they finance it by debt. That debt is sucking money out of the economy. And so it becomes a parasite. It's a tick on the butt of the economy, sucking the blood out of it. And so that's the problem with the overspending, is it pulls money out of the currency, which if it's out here moving around between your business, my business, and we're buying, we're spending money at the restaurant, and we're going on vacation, and we're buying a Southwest air ticket, and we're doing all the other things. We're moving the money around. They put it on the shelf, and now the economy's smaller. And so that's not as bad because of all these lost jobs. So there's an offset there.
Okay.
So, again, I think what little trouble would be more than offset by that. And the other thing, it has to be offset by what we're talking about earlier. Okay, what does the average business person like me that's got, a substantial business, but not a huge business. I'm not General Motors. Okay. I'm not Apple, but somebody running a business like mine, which 54% of the economy is companies that are 500 people and smaller. Small business is the mathematical backbone of the American economy. So the guy that has a heat and air company that's got 400 people and a little small fleet of trucks and they fix heat and air on people's houses, what's he looking at? Okay. He feels a lot more positive about government waste being chopped off at the knees than he does negative of some of those folks losing a job.
Okay.
And again, he's the one making the decision to spend or to hold his cash because there's a storm coming. Am I going to invest because there's sunshine coming, or is there a tornado coming and I got to put plywood on the windows and pile cash and get ready? Because when he piles cash, in macro, when a whole bunch of he's piles cash because they think a storm is coming, that freezes the economy shut. But when they believe the sun is coming, and they believe more in Elon Doge causing the sun is coming than he does those lost jobs.
Okay.
So I think it's an offset. Both are very real, and they're very personal if you're in them. I'm not trying to discount if you work for the VA and you're going to lose your job. I'm not happy for you personally. I'm happy that our nation is addressing waste, though, because 100% of the intelligent human beings walking around realize that the waste is really freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's just, I think it's something we have to go through no matter what.
Oh, God, it's like, and the fact that they're actually doing it, not talking about it, for the first time in modern history, everybody's talked about it. No one's ever done anything. Not in the GOP and not in the Dems. None of them have ever done anything. It takes this wild animal to go in there with a dadgum machete and a bunch of Gen Zs with algorithms and start stacking those cash flows and looking at this going, well, look at there. We've got a transgender college that we just put $150 million in India or whatever. I made that up. But I mean, the stuff is coming out. It's just, it's not even,
it's insane.
It's like science fiction. It's so bizarre.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.